good morning. Hello everybody and welcome back to Star Citizen. So yeah, I'm gonna reserve the right to geek out at least for 2 more videos on how smooth it is just getting up out of bed now. I'm still tripping out over that. I really gotta stop sleeping in my armor. This stuff is gonna start smelling here pretty soon. Okay, let's get out of here. And let's head off this way. Unfortunately, my guy's wearing like the heavy suit of leg armor, so he still kind of almost has a heart attack if he runs like 4 feet. Okay, I screwed that up. We're gonna skip that. We'll skip the morning jump. Now there is one thing that I wanted to show you guys, and it related to something I was talking about in the previous video. And I'll show you right here. So let's go over to configuration for our ships, the vehicle loadout manager, and let's go over to the Super Hornet. Now, yesterday I used the Super Hornet to recover another ship that I had floating out in orbit, and I just left it there and I quit. So, and when I came in today this morning and checked up on it, it's doing that thing that I was talking to you about, where if you look at the ship, there's literally nothing on it. There's nothing in the systems, it has no engine, it has no weapons. And if I try to spawn it, it'll spawn out on the platform with nothing, and you can't interact with it at all. You can't get into the cockpit or anything like that. But, once again, I'll show you what it is that you need to do to fix that. Because unfortunately, it'll persist that way and stay that way if you just leave it. So just kind of come over here to, let's see, where's the Super Hornet? Right here. And claim insurance on it. File a claim. And I'm not paying any expedite fees, but it's going to be a half an hour before I get it back. But at least when it comes back, it'll be perfectly good and perfectly useful. Now, unfortunately, I did that to a couple of ships. So I need to claim insurance on them, and I might as well do it here while we're waiting. So, okay, I'm gonna file a claim on that one, and we're not gonna pay the fee. We're just gonna wait it out. And unfortunately, I also did that to the other Alpha. Yeah, I had a fun time destroying ships. Okay, so it looks like, oh, the other weird thing too is, when your ships are unavailable like that, when they're in that weird state where they have no components or anything, when you come over here and you try to access them through the terminal, they won't be there. Another little thing I like to do, so yeah, these will all become available again to use. Let's just choose that right now and sort by value. I usually like to take a screenshot of this because I've got the memory of a ferret on a double espresso. I mean, I will never remember any of these values at all, particularly not Laranite. Oh, that is a record low. Okay, depending on what they're selling at, that might not be the thing to buy anymore. But generally with Windows 10, the default is the Windows key, Alt, and then print screen. And then I just save that information, so when I go to the outpost, I can immediately go back and look at this and see what the values were. Just as a little reminder. And I've already taken a snapshot, so I'm not going to bother doing that again. So, let's grab a ship and get going. And I think I'm going to go with the Cutlass Black this time. This should be good. Yeah, let's retrieve this guy.
Your ship has been delivered to the following landing pad.
I think somebody was asking me about, let's see if I can bring up my cursor here. These 2 symbols up in here. This one means the area you're in is monitored. It means you can shoot at other people unlawfully, but if you do, you'll be given a criminal status. And this over here just means you just can't shoot to begin with. So that's what those 2 things are. And let's hit Alt again. Let's back out. If you hit right Alt, it'll bring up your cursor, but you have to hit right Alt again, otherwise it'll make you appear to be locked in that level of functionality, and you can't do anything else until you press it again. Alright. I was not even paying attention to which platform that it brought the ship to, so we'll see. We'll do a little investigating. It's on the upper platform. It's this way. No, it's this way. We'll get there eventually. If I don't give myself a heart attack before I reach the ship, man. That's one thing I really hope they do change, because when my in-game character has less stamina than I do in real life, that's bad. That's real bad. My torch isn't working here. I gotta look into that. I wonder if I disabled that at some point. Let's just close it. No, I didn't remap it. Oh my god, my guy's breathing so heavy. Calm down, buddy. We're there. It's okay. Oh, that is interesting. My ship is still injured. Good show. Well, that's persistence for you. I was trying to land at an outpost last night, and I took a magnificent crash into the surface of the planet. I mean, it was so bad, it was good. I really wish I was recording it. Even better, it would have been more fun to watch from somebody else's perspective. Okay, so I gotta be careful, because this ship was one step away from exploding last time when I landed. Landing gear up. I always forget to do that. Usually I'm in quantum travel when I finally recognize. Okay, so let's pick our destination. Now, I'm not getting too crazy this time. I'm going to go back to the same outpost that I went to last time. This is going to be another milk run. Now, before you ask why, let's just, says my destination. Okay, my marker came up. Sometimes that marker does not come up, and I have to click this a couple of times or go over here and re-highlight it. I need to look into it. It is kind of operator error on what it is that I'm doing. But if your marker doesn't come up immediately, don't freak out. I go back into my Moby Glass and then just check it out again.
Quantum drive is now.
I always have to do this. I love this mode. I love this view. Especially how every one of the points of your ship seems like it's kind of just scraping up against the sides of the tunnel that's being formed by warping like this. I love that. Now, what's funny is, in the comments, somebody was talking about never having been interdicted, and so far I've had 2 interdiction incidences. Okay, so first of all, let's find out where we're going to, and then I'll explain what my interactions were in a little bit more detail. Okay, Kudra ore, so once again, we are on the wrong side of the planet. So let's fix that.
Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now off.
Okay, let's see how much closer we are now. It was like 650 before. 387. I think we're probably pretty close. I think we're going to be on the right side of the planet. I'm just going to take a chance. Speed up here. And if we're on the wrong side, then we really don't have too much area to cover once we get towards the surface. So, not a big deal. So anyway, my interdiction scenes. Okay, so the first time I was interdicted, and you will know when it happens to you, because the whole camera just starts shaking and becoming very violent. And it'll pull you out of warp prematurely. And so, the first time it happened to me, I wasn't wearing my headphones, and I was struggling to get them plugged in. And what I encountered was 2 green markers, meaning 2 friendlies. And I don't know what was going on, because at first I just kind of panicked and tried to quantum travel away from them, and it just pulled me right back out and didn't allow me to escape. So I'm sitting there fumbling, trying to get my headphones in, and by the time I actually got them connected, the 2 markers had left. So I don't know what was going on with that one, but it was obviously a friendly interaction. So they're not all combat, which is very interesting. And the second time it happened to me, I was attacked by a cutlass cat, not a cutlass, a drake caterpillar. It came up as pirate. Excuse me. It came up as a pirate indicator, so it came up with that traditional enemy orange. And I just basically went in, attacked them, stayed to the back of the ship, kept firing at their engines until I blew it up. And as soon as that was done with, I could travel back on and continue on to my destination. Excuse me for 1 second. Once again, sorry about that. Try to keep that to a minimum. So those were my 2 interdiction scenes, and apparently there's supposed to be upwards of 10 different unique scenarios that you can come across. So I'm really looking forward to it, because I think there are going to be more than just 10 different kinds of ships attacking you. I think there might be actually 10 different scenarios, which will be really fun. And it doesn't happen very often. Like, I have no idea what the parameters are involving it. You know, do you have a higher chance of being interdicted if you're going on longer distances? You know, is it the amount of time that you're playing for? Is it cumulative? Because the game does keep a persistent track record of, like, your overall performance in the game. So it could be after, like, 20 hours of gameplay or, you know, something like that. I really don't know, but I want to look into it, and as soon as I do have any information pertaining to that, I will definitely share it. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about too, because we still have a little bit of time before we actually reach our destination, is decorum about behavior when you actually get to... Oh, actually, no. Before I talk about that, I want to talk about some pirate traps. That's way more interesting, and it's going to eat up most of the time. Now, I've encountered actually a number of pirate traps so far. Now, the biggest one you got to worry about is when you come over to an outpost, particularly even more isolated ones and at night, and you see a ship that's just landed there, and you don't see anybody around. Now, naturally, the first thing you think of is, well, that guy's probably inside, you know, taking care of business just like you want to do. But then you land the ship, and you get out, and you go to enter inside of the outpost, and then you find out it's cycled, or it's depressurized, meaning the last person that was in left. Now, this isn't an absolute, but it's a very good indicator that nobody is actually inside of that outpost, meaning that guy is still in his ship. And if, you know, most people don't just hang out at those outposts. They go in there, they take care of their business, they run out, and they leave. So if you pull up and you just wait for a few minutes, you generally will either be seeing somebody going into the outpost or leaving from the outpost within the course of a minute. Not even that, really. It takes not even 30 seconds to go take care of your business, cycle through the airlock, and then get out. So if you don't see anybody doing anything in that time, there's a huge indicator that they are probably just hanging out in the rocks, waiting for you to land. And when I landed, I was in a cutlass. Now, the downside with the cutlass and also with the freelancers is it's really easy for people to sneak into the back. And particularly with the cutlass, because the way it stacks crates, it stacks them in the back where the seats are first. And that gives somebody a really good opportunity to kind of sneak into the ship. Like I'm coming up here, so we need to correct speed, orientation. Like I was saying, so I pulled in and someone jumped in the ship like a ninja, and I did not even notice. As a matter of fact, what happened is the gangplank in the back kind of rebounded and went back down. Like he apparently got it stuck or something when he was coming in. And if I was smart, I would have, you know, checked the ship out. I would have shut the gangplank, walked around, and made sure there was nobody inside, but I wasn't thinking. So I just sat down and took off, and then I'm just, you know, as soon as I got out of the armistice zone, pow! Bang! Dead. As a matter of fact, it was such a surprise. I was like, did I run out of oxygen? What happened here? Until it kind of clicked, you know. Dummy, you got shot in the back of the head. which is really funny because if I went into like this mode or something, and then I just kind of like zoomed in on my guy, and I can't really do it with a cutlass here because you can't really see into the cockpit too well in this ship, but you'd be able to see somebody standing right behind you with a gun, which that'd be like a horror movie. I probably would have freaked out. So it's something to really be leery of. Like, ideally, if I saw a ship there and there was just nobody in sight, like, ideally, I kind of wait for somebody to take care of their business and then take off. And I was kind of hoping that there was going to be somebody at this trading post. So I could show you a few ways of just kind of making sure that they're on the up and up and how to watch out for yourself when you go down here. Because I've seen pirate traps where people kind of just wait in that area right where you kind of zip in, and they're not too dangerous. You can get away from people really quickly, especially if you hit another marker. Like, all you have to do is avoid them until your quantum drive spools down, and then you can just hit another marker and get away from them. And you can just keep doing that and even just jump out of the system if you really have to. So it's really tough because they don't have interdiction weapons right now, not specific weapons to use against you. When that happens, that kind of pirate trap is going to be a whole different scenario. But for right now, that's not too scary. And if you get interdicted, it's an AI, and they're very easy to take care of. Like, even like a really small ship. Like, I've taken out a caterpillar using an M50 before, just because you can exploit a weakness in that ship. It'll take you forever, but you can still do it. But the real danger for people right now is down here, what you're about to see. As soon as you land, you are incredibly vulnerable. If you power down, if you power down your ship, you can be destroyed immediately by a griefer who just wants to shoot at you. You have people who want to try and sneak into your ship. And my advice, particularly if you're in a cutlass or if you're in a freelancer, is before you take off, definitely walk around your ship and look around. Now, the freelancer is more straightforward. I think it's more safe because there's no place for somebody to hide. But a cutlass, there's more hidey holes. It's easier for somebody to hide in the back of a cutlass. And God help you if you have a caterpillar, because they could just hide anywhere. Like the larger ships, that's going to be a huge problem. Okay, so let's throttle back here a little bit. I'm hitting the space brake, and then I'm going to take the throttle down to 0, and I'm just strafing in right now. I'm just using the W key to strafe. That's what I have mapped to my strafe option. And I would be able to see anybody if they were here right now, so there's nobody around. So I really don't have to worry about it. And I don't think anybody is going to be blowing me up while I run inside. And if the commodity I'm thinking about getting is, if it's less than 40, I should really think about not buying it. So let's go over here. Let's bring my landing gear down. And like I was saying, this is the exact same run as yesterday, but I am going to complicate this up a little bit. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do this run maybe about 4 or 5 more times and see how much equity I can build up here today. And I'm not going to be recording all that, don't worry. I might record and then just splice out any interesting footage that happens during it. And right now, let me tell you, the Cutlass Black and the Freelancer series are really going to shine right now. If you own either one of those two ships, you have a very, very good ship to play the first iteration of 3.0 with. Because I don't think those ships are ever going to be more important than they are right now. The Freelancer is just king at carrying cargo for the size ship and for being able to be handled by a small crew or just a single pilot. I think those are really good ships. Whoa, my butt just slammed to the ground. Let's go in here. And I'm going to turn the engines off. I like turning the engines off because you can see the whole ship just kind of just ease into the I'm brain farting on the word right now. The shocks of the ship. And I like leaving power on. Oh, see, my ship is still in danger because, yeah, I got to get this guy fixed. I either need to claim insurance or I need to get it fixed. I don't know which I'm going to do. I'm probably just going to claim the insurance because I am a lazy, lazy man. Open up. And like I said, I really don't think we need to worry about people trying to sneak in or do the ninja. Like, it'd be like that rock right there the guy would be hiding at. And just as soon as you turn your back, he is in your ship. Some people, man, they have it down to a science. It's the same thing if you're ever at Levski and you're trying to pick up cargo over there. If you're in the hangar and there's some dude just hanging out, don't bother trying to get back into your ship. I would even actually go as far as to try to despawn your ship. See, that just opened up as I came in, so that means there's probably nobody inside. It's not an absolute, like I said, but it's a really strong indicator that the outpost is abandoned. Okay, let's see how much this is selling for right now. Okay, so the Cutlass Black. Aurora LN, did you see that? Barrel, Laramite, 45. You know, I'm not going to make a huge amount of money off this, but I'm still going to buy it anyway. Okay. Some money is good. That might actually mean that someone's Aurora is around here and I couldn't see where it was. Like, in the vicinity. Does that mean we're going to have pirates after all? We'll see if I get shot at by somebody. Okay, so... Armistice zone. Safe zone, basically. Well, it doesn't mean someone can't shoot at me, but it means if they do, they're going to be given a pirate a strike against their criminal record. Oh, it's... Okay, the guy's floating above. You see, I saw his shadow up there. So he's trying to scope me out and see, like, what my deal is. Don't worry, Mr. Aurora. I will not hurt you. I'm cool. Man, I know what it's like to be a traitor out here. So he's probably afraid that I'm somebody who's going to be scoping him out. And he's doing the smart thing, which is he's just flying overhead and waiting for me to take care of business and get out of here. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Oh, there's a Cutlass too. Engines on. So he's not shooting at me. He's being cool. And right now I'm just gonna try and like take a non-aggressive gesture, not point at his ship. We'll fly off. Yeah, see there he's just being cool. I don't know where that Aurora is. I don't know what's going on with that. And honestly, I did not think that they would allow you to put cargo on somebody else's ship. Like that I would ideally have to be captain of a ship to fill it up. I don't know. I need to do a little experimentation with that. I'm gonna do some work on that tonight and find out what's going on. Okay, so let's get up into orbit here. Let's get out of here. Now. Oh my god, that is just so beautiful. Let's just take a look at this for a second. My god. That just kills me that every spot, every location, every little canyon, every valley, every hill, you can go visit. And it'll be just as you're looking at it right now. Take that, nothing. But I mean, that is just very important. I've been doing this canyon run over and over again, and it's not getting boring, it's getting addicting. Like, I'm having a lot of fun doing this. And like I said, I've encountered problems. The biggest problem, though, is if your game crashed... Okay, let's first of all... Like, if the game crashes while you have cargo in your ship, you're screwed. I mean, it's just gone. So that's a... Oh, there's Crusader right there in front of me. Okay, excellent. No! I won't do that. One hit at 4. Okay, let's see. Now, is there a marker that I could see? Because if I could just jet to a marker and get out of here, that would be nice. You know, they don't let you do that, and I can understand why. Because if you could just jet to an orbital marker from the ground, you would just kind of skip this whole process. And I was talking with someone before, and they were kind of complaining about the fact that it takes so long to get down to the surface of a planet. And to me, that person was just missing the point. It's about the journey. If you could just zip right to a location, what would be the fun in it? You know, where would be the sense of adventure? Just be instant serve gratification for everything you're doing. And that's why I like this game, is because it has that feeling of adventure. Like, I feel like I've accomplished something to get down to the planet, and I just don't want to leave immediately. I want to explore it. Okay, so let's set up a marker here, because we can. Okay, we're going to go back to Port Alisar. I don't have to zoom in that much, but I have a tendency to. Okay, so here's our point of interest. Now, I'm actually really hoping that I get interdicted on camera, so while I'm recording, not on camera, just so I can show you guys what it's like. It is interesting. Like I was saying before, like the whole thing just kind of shakes, and there's no, like, the first time it happens, you're just kind of like, what the heck is going on? And you just get that whole, like, feeling of panic in the back of your neck. And it is very interesting. And I just can't wait for more and more things to happen like that, and more complicated scenarios to undergo. Like, once repair is a thing and regassing ships is a thing, it's just going to expand the different scenarios you can be running across. Like, you might run across a guy who essentially needs repair, and he's a friendly, and you go over and you repair him, and he ends up, like, paying you for it. Or essentially you could drop a beacon and let somebody else come and help him out. So it doesn't necessarily have to always be combat. And I like that idea that the answer to everything isn't just throw a pirate at him. It's another thing I really love. I love the view from some of these cockpits are just amazing, especially when there's a window towards the top of it, so you can just kind of look up and just, you know, just really admire the view. Okay, I'm on cruise. Oh, here we go. As soon as I hit maximum cruise control. Another thing I wanted to kind of warn you about, and this is a weird scenario, and like way back in the day I was a really good tester, because, or a QA tester, because I would always seem to be able to create the weirdest problems with the game. So yesterday I came up to Alisar, alright? And some guy was inappropriately parked on the landing pad. Whoa, I just got control again. You have to worry about it. As soon as it gives you control from okay, let's throttle down there. Okay, I'm getting that bug again that I was talking about yesterday. My throttle is completely down, but my ship is pushing forward. I'm holding on space brake right now, and that's the only reason I'm not going forward. So I'm going into decoupled mode, and now I'm fine. Coming out of decoupled mode, still fine. See, completely fixed that bug. But you gotta be aware of it, you know? Okay, so anyway, back to what I was saying. I do that a lot, I'm very sorry. Some guy was parked. Okay, so I'm just going to get into position. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. A guy was parked on the landing pad, and you could tell he wasn't given clearance to. He just kind of landed all cockeyed and weird. And so when I requested a landing, it asked me to land on that same pad that guy was landed on. And every time I requested another pad, it would just keep, you know, pointing me back to that same location. It was creating all kinds of weird problems. Like, I couldn't land on that pad because of him, and if I tried, we would have collided. And also on top of it, I finally did land on that same pad and pushed him over a little bit. It was causing weird problems with trying to sell my cargo.
Landing gear.
Because it was having a weird detection problem with its ship and with my ship. So I finally had to just get up, go to another side of Alisar, and then request another landing, and that kind of fixed that problem. So let's request a landing before I chew your ear off here.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Alright, sounds good. This seems to be my usual spot. And we'll see how much creds I get. I'm not getting much. That wasn't a huge profit. That Laramite that I'm getting right now is taking a huge hit. It used to be up to like 113, 114 a couple of days ago, and it sold for like slightly more than 30. So that was like a huge profit. Okay. And once again, I'm not going to screw around here. I'm just going automatic landing. My ship is already injured. I think if I sneeze on it incorrectly, it's going to blow up. And we're just going to go engine off as soon as we land.
Complete.
Awesome.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
I will have a wonderful stay. Thank you very much. I've had a nice, pleasant trip. And what's funny too is Kudra Ore is becoming like very well known as a trade run because for the most part people are very cool. Do we have any cargo in here? There we go. Yeah, that's all that got me, man. That. That's not cargo. That's my cargo. Wow. And like I was saying, usually it will stack cargo right in this area way before you fill this up, and that's how people sneak onto the ship. Like when you're over here hitting the button, they're on this side over here sneaking in. And they use whatever cargo is in this area right here as a cover. So watch out for that, guys. It's a little tip for you. Let's open up. Let's get out of here. I don't want any... And let's make sure to shut this behind us because I don't want anybody stealing my one crate. I went through a lot to get it. Here you go. Come on. There you go. Close up, buddy. Nice and tight. And that's another successful run for today. I think I will be mixing things up after this because you can only see me do the same run over and over again. And I just... There was so much that I kind of missed. What the heck? Like, I just stopped for no reason. Maybe my shoelaces are untied. But yeah, I'll start looking at different trade runs. I'm going to try and build up some equity so I can start purchasing some more stuff. I have a few outfits. I have some heavy outfits and some medium ones, but ideally I want to unlock everything, and I want to show you how they compare not only to like weapon reduction. That was a little lag spike. I don't encounter those very often. And I have a nagging suspicion. Someone was telling me that you can have more oxygen depending on what mask you're wearing, which I don't entirely know if that's true, but I want to do some research into it and get some exact stats for you people and let you know what they are. Okay, let's use my cutlass. No, I want to sell. Sorry, what am I doing here? Let's go back to my cutlass. Okay, so 72. Yeah, I got like 200-ish plus or minus tax. You know, still not rich, but still having a good time. Loving it. And like I said, I'm going to do about 2 or 3 more runs today, and then I'm going to call it quits and kind of take it easy and do a little bit more Subnautica. Oh, yeah. Thank you very much for joining me once again. I'm going to keep trying to put little tips and hints and give information as I can. If people are interested in hearing that, then I am all too happy to continue doing it. Let's take a load off here. Well, that was close, buddy. That was close. Generally, this guy will actually sit in the seat, which is... Let's see if I can plop my butt down. There we go. That's better. Sitting nice and polite like a 4-year-old. So once again, thank you very much for joining me for this episode, and I hope to see you again in the next. Goodbye, everybody.